Hey guys, it's Lachi Planet. Still here with Elprez and Tom, and we're talking about Monogatari second season. I just finished a gulp of lemonade, don't mind me. And we're going to red, so we'll just jump straight in. So the first red card is Surugu Kambara, new school semester. So 1035. If you have two or more other oddity characters, this gains the ability to be a level 1 bomb. So if it's reversed, if the battle opponent is level 1 or lower, that character also reverses. And when this is reversed in battle, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a level 2 or higher card, you may return this to your hand. Put the revealed card back.
So it's a potentially reusable level 1 bomb.
It's also bondable for whatever that's worth.
It's fine.
The bond also gives 1k, but that's entirely irrelevant if you ask me.
It is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Playable. I can't say the card is good.
Tom's a big fan of this
I
card.
I think I think it's good if you're planning on running more of it, because in the sense that if you get to apply the second effect more times in a game, it's more likely to give you benefits. But apart from that, it's a bomb.
I would
Uh,
honestly be like way more amused if it was just like the leave it on the field kind, like tap it as
The
opposed to.
prob the problem with running more of this to get more effects is that you're running more level ones.
I mean, let's
I'm
see. How many level 2s do you run in your deck?
I'm at 15 or 16, and that's not great ratios.
Having a 33% hit chance is not good enough for me.
That's fine, but this is just a level 1 bomb that randomly bounces back to your hand sometimes.
Cool. Do you need level 1 bombs?
I think they're quite useful.
I think it's use. Yeah,
So in that case, like maybe 2.
It's a good card. It's a level 1 bomb with upside.
I kind of just call the card playable. I don't see it
I
being that spectacular. I don't think you need
It's
that many level 1 bombs in most decks, anyways.
Neither do I, but I still think the card is fine.
yeah.
All right, next card, the probably somewhat overrated one of the set. Hitagi Senjogahara, Serious Face, 3295. If you've got Experience 6, this gains 1/5 power. When this is placed from hand to stage, you draw 2, drop 1. And when this attacks, if a certain winter day, the gate is in the climax zone, you may deal 1 damage to your opponent.
Cool. Um, let's see. My thoughts. It's fine.
Not, it's not worth 1480, is my thought.
Let me
This
think.
card is good because it means you can level it in order to get red at level 1, and red is very strong at level 1 in my opinion because it has both Akatsuki and the bomb, and it also has a couple other beta options.
Yeah.
It also lets you run gates, and gates are, as we all know, good. Gates are even better in this deck because you have Kaiki, which means Kaiki can come down and neg 500 on a Mikan, which means anti-salvage is turned off.
Yeah.
And lastly, this card is just a decent finisher.
It's a pretty solid finisher.
It's a finisher that digs for its own climax, which sets it apart from similar cards like, Trouble Go Haruhi
Which heals.
Or Congo.
or Congo.
Which heals.
But see, similar cards to this, so the ones that immediately come to mind would be,
Terraformers
uh,
Akari. Except you have to pay for that one.
no, Akari doesn't come to mind because he doesn't dig.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the digging portion as well.
Yeah, so Yuri from Angel Beats and Yuiko from Little Busters, they're the ones that come to mind. They do
Sure.
have to pay, they have to pay for their climax combo, but paying for a climax combo is not necessarily a bad thing anyway, because you
Yuri
might pay
doesn't
out.
have to.
Yuri doesn't have to?
No.
Okay, sure. So Yuri doesn't have to. Yuiko does. Yuri is a very playable card, and that makes this a very playable card, in
I,
my opinion.
this card is 1500 yen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still think it's a good card because it fixes for red and it is a passable finisher that lets you run gates. But I don't think it's 1500 when the clock kick is only 980.
Yeah, I think the clock kick is definitely better.
I don't know about definitely better because this card does have lots of little upsides.
I'm not going to say the other one is more reliable per se, but I think it's fine.
Yeah, I like the fact you can run gates. It's my favorite part about the card.
I mean, gates are good.
Hmm.
Gates are good when you also have an answer to the anti salvage.
definitely.
Yeah,
Most decks don't.
That is,
privilege.
yeah, that is a privilege that Gatorade does have. So I'm gonna call this card good and move on because it is
Oh,
good.
okay. I only put playable. I'm sorry.
Well, it's
Oh
more than
dear.
playable, I
We need
feel.
we
Yeah,
need
it's pretty
we
good.
need
Yeah,
you guys to put the ratings up before I start switching because it takes me time to switch cards.
Sure, sure.
sure. Okay.
So this card is
Retroactively good.
this card is good. So
Yes.
this is the card we've all been talking about. Surugo Combo, Fibbing with Words. When this is placed from hand to stage, choose another character with experience, and that character gains 2k power for the turn. No experience requirement, no requirement whatsoever. Don't need to sack anything. Don't need to pay stock. Just give something 2k. And then when this becomes reversed, if the level of the battle opponent is level 0, then you can reverse it. So it's a level 0 bomb that also gives 2k to something.
Good card.
Yeah, there's
How
like
is
no
this fair?
downside. Um,
This is ridiculous.
Clearly that experience qualifier is like way too difficult in this deck.
Do you know what the old
Yeah.
level 0 bomb was? It was basically this card, except it only gave 500 power.
Is it an attack as well?
It was on attack, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you can give it to non-experienced characters, but is that really an issue?
Absolutely. That's totally why I thought this card was okay to print.
This card is probably going to be underrated for a while
Is
until
it?
people realize it is basically it's like a 2k1 soul on legs.
I mean, yes, and the big thing is that your yellow plus in combo has
5/5
experience.
power.
Oh
Yeah.
boy. Yeah.
Hmm.
Not only that, but there's a card coming up soon which also has experience and also has a ridiculous ability and also is bigger than it probably should be.
Alrighty. Before we get
It's
to there, though,
it's not
next
this
up,
card.
It's not this.
Mayoi Hachikuji, Kid Within the Storm. It's a 0025. It's kind of a runner. At the start of your opponent's attack phase, you may choose a character in your opponent's front row and move it to another empty slot in the front row. If you don't, put this in the waiting room.
I don't know if it gets a
Uh,
niche playable rating or just bad. I'm just like utterly confused by this card. Honestly, it's
This card is playable. So what the card does is it forces your opponent to have cards bigger than Mayoi. Otherwise, Mayoi runs in front of them. Mayoi forces them to run in front, which is a bad thing for them because they'll have to side or else crash. If, however, they have a full board, she kills herself, at which point she is no longer on the board,
you take one more
and
damage,
you take one more damage, but you
or
also
could take one more
remove
damage.
you remove her from the field so you can't get reversed. Uh, so I think she's actually better at level 0 than she is at level 1 than she is at level 0. At level 0, she's mostly an annoyance. If your opponent fields two cards that are bigger than her on spots where she isn't, then she will basically die. And that's not too difficult to do. A lot of people run a lot of beaters and bombs. Or if your opponent tries to kill it with just one single beater, then you still get a direct attack. They keep their Mayoi, but it's basically as if it was a runner in the first place. So I know what all I said was very confusing, but you can just consider this kind of like a runner that also has a bit of upside at level 1, and also has a lot of finicky ways to play around its ability at level 0, depending on what cards your opponent has in hand.
yeah.
So
It's
I think the card is actually good because it's almost a runner, and almost a runner is still very good. But I don't know if I would play it. That's the thing.
I have changed your rating from playable to good.
I think it's playable because it's
I
the
think
upside
I think
compared
the
to a regular runner is just like
I think the best I can give it is playable.
That's also fair.
I think
I don't actually know how I'm going to evaluate this card until I play with it a bit. So maybe I'll just have to test it.
I think it's just when you compare it to other runners, it's definitely just not as effective.
Well, it's not as effective as giving you advantage, but this can also deny your opponent advantage at level
It's better
1.
denying advantage, that's for certain.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons why I like runners a lot is the fact that they're very hard to deal with by your opponent.
Yeah, that's true.
And this is
Yeah.
markedly easier to deal with, in a
Mm,
sense.
it can be dealt with easier by most sets, as opposed to runners, which can only be dealt with by like 5 sets reliably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still think it's fine. Next card is Hitagi Senjagara for Lover's Sake, 004K. When this is placed from hand to stage, put the top 2 cards of your library in the waiting room. If there are any climax cards among them, rest this.
Ayo, I like this effect.
I
I like it
think
too.
I think I might actually like the 0 loner from the first set better. Because unlike Tomo and Index, this card doesn't get you to scry when you absolutely need this to stand. And unlike the other ones, which are 3/5, they don't have other incidental abilities like Encore, which is what the Girlfriend Beta and Charlotte ones have.
The saddest
I
part
still
about
think,
the Toma one is always when you scry and it's a
and then
climax and you
still
put it to
hit.
the bottom and you still miss. It's like,
Or when you scry, it's not a climax. You put it to the top and then hit a climax on the second one.
and it's like,
Yeah, no, this card is playable.
yeah, it's also
It's
playable
good.
later.
It's good filler, for sure. Fixes for
Absolutely.
red.
All right, Thomas is
Next
the only one who
card.
gets to get the rating on this one because it takes me too long to write it out. Next.
Hitagi Senjogara, 105K. Experience, that magical word. Discard a card from your hand to the waiting room. When this is placed from hand to stage, if you've got experience 2 or higher, you may pay cost. If you do, oh boy. Look at up to 4 cards from the top of your deck, add 1 oddity character from among them to hand, reveal it, and put the rest in the waiting room.
So it's a level 1 Akatsuki.
Akatsuki. Yeah.
I mean, I
Or
guess if we're gonna say
Asuso.
the level 1 version, we can just call it, what, a
It's a
Lala
Lala.
now?
Yeah. But no one knows her name, so we may as well just call it level 1 Asuso or level 1 Akatsuki.
So Bushiroad is slowly getting more clever to the idea that Akatsuki was a mistake. Um,
No, they're not. They printed it in like.
No.
They're not.
I said
What?
slightly.
They basically
Slightly.
turned
They
Akatsuki into like
they just printed it in Love Live.
In Color, which is
Sure, but that
functionally
still
the same
really
thing.
counts.
Functionally the same thing.
You just build a mono green deck. This
YOLO.
effect is as insane as always. Costless discard outlet that gets through your deck and lets you filter for your worst card for a presumably better card, assuming you play good
Is there a
cards.
reason why you would run less than 4 besides, like, maybe deck building space?
Deck building space is
deck
the main
building
reason.
space. Yeah.
I feel like it'd still be worth just
No,
jamming.
you don't run 4. There's too many things you need to run.
I wouldn't want to run less than 3.
I run 3.
Oh yeah. Three's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's also 5K as opposed to the 4/5 that Lala is, which is important because it reaches 7K with the bomb buff, and it does have experience to take that, which is kind of stupid.
Yeah. Moving on. I
Yeah,
feel like we've talked about this card too much on other.
yeah, I agree. So this is Mayuri Hachikuji, young girl, 1055.
This card is an
If
SR?
Oh wait, another mistranslation.
yeah,
What an
uh,
amazing effect.
this cannot side attack. If you have 2 or more other oddity characters, this gains 100 power. No, it's 1,000 power.
It's on the card.
So it's a 6/5 1/0, which would normally be great, except it doesn't have experience.
Yeah.
Darn.
Darn.
That is literally the reason I'm not playing it. It doesn't have experience.
Um,
Card is still great in your Mayoi waifu deck.
those people are going to jail.
Oliconia. Yeah,
I'm
no,
gonna,
the card is fine.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go ahead and just say the
Yeah,
card is playable.
it's
I,
very
I
It
don't
is it is playable. Like it's a 1065. There's a limit to how bad it really can be.
I don't know how. I don't think you're actually gonna play it, but like it's definitely a playable card.
Lack of side attack is kind of relevant in the Mayori waifu deck because you'll often be slamming climaxes and doing silly things. But anyway,
Moving forward.
Koyomi Araragi advisor to Kambaru. This is the bond to the bomb that also gives it 1k.
Woo!
I don't. It's a 1 cost bond, and I don't really understand why it has to give a 3/5 bomb 1,000 power.
Yeah.
I think this card is playable again because it's a bond, but it's only a bond. It doesn't really do anything else.
I used to run a bond to a level 1 bomb in Terraformers, and then I realized that, well, in Terraformers there's a lot of problems with the bomb, actually. Being
Well,
being
the
4K
running,
is
the running
actually an
dead.
issue
Yeah,
that like
and
actually came up a surprising number of times.
isn't it like also not stand or something?
That's why being 4K was an issue a surprising number of times.
God.
Yeah.
I needed to control like subpar Akari characters at level 1, and it's like all sorts of problems. It ends up being very unfortunate. I don't think you're gonna run this bot.
Now, let's move on to the next card.
Hmm.
Mayuri Hachikuji, not Jumpy, as opposed to Jumpy
2.
Gahara, I think. Experience. When another strange character is reversed in battle, if you've got experience 3, choose a character, and that character gains 1k for the turn. And then you have the Holy Goddess effect, or the Jailer Axel effect, which is rest 2 oddity characters, and one character gains 2k power.
I'm not very keen on this card. It's
I
still
think it's a.
playable.
Nah, this is niche.
Oh, this
I
is
think it's
niche.
niche.
Oddly enough, I think this goes best in the Kambaru waifu deck.
Sure, but then you're like diluting your waifu and going to jail.
It's just really weird because this card gives power to characters that have been reversed, which helps with your big
Is
field,
it
and it
when
lets you
your own
comp on
field
your
is
turn.
reversed?
Yeah, it's on
Yeah.
when another strange character.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, it is
So
niche.
not only does Kambaru have the 1/0 bomb, but she also has a power-based field if she wants it. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
a little interesting to me that this would go best in the Kambaru deck, but whatever. It's niche for me as well.
Hashtag going to jail. I don't know what else to say.
Izuku Gaian, working. It's a 1/1/3/5 assist. All oddity trait characters in front of this gain 500 power and character encore. And when a climax is placed to the climax zone, choose a character, and that character gains 1k for the turn.
Hey.
Yeah.
Before I say anything, I want to say that the 1/1 Yami support in a vacuum sucks a lot,
Yes.
and that just because this card is like that does not give it a free pass.
No.
The Yami support is only good because it happens to give a hell of a lot of power. Like 2k with the other 500 is a lot. It propels your cards above and beyond what they need, what they probably should be,
And
which is
then-
why that card is actually playable.
It
And
also
we're already
shares a
running-
climax.
Yeah, it shares a climax with your climax combo, and it gives hand encore in a set that mostly has not very great walls, and it does have the 1/0 promo Yami, which gets big on your turn, which means that that card is good for a lot of small reasons in that deck. That doesn't mean every archetypal card like it is good, and I don't think this is an example of a good card.
I don't even know if this card. Man, we need like one more rating between playable and bad.
Yeah, it's niche.
No, like an actual one that like makes sense.
Like meh.
Like
Well,
meh.
we should actually just call this card bad, in my opinion. I don't want
it
to
is
spend
bad.
one.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend one stock on this in any deck I play.
It is.
You already
it
get
is,
2k power from your bomb. It's like,
Exactly.
why?
it is bad. Never mind. Like you just probably don't need to hand encore that often.
I can't see a deck in which you play this. Except maybe like the only card that really jumps to mind is wanting to play with this are yellow, and there's no real yellow-red
Oh,
synergies.
the other reason why the 1/1 Yami is like kind of good is like if you are just going full YOLO and you do the change, then you have a way of keeping it there if somehow they manage to get over it.
Yeah, I guess.
YOLO.
Sure.
Not saying you should or would, but you have it.
but sure.
Next.
Next card, Hitagi Senjogara, 1/1/6k. If you have 2 or more other Odyssey characters, it gains 1k, and it natively has hand encore. So this is just straight up worse than the 1/1 yellow, because I feel like in the meta deck you'll be running both red and yellow at level 1. And because of that,
It gets the bad
this
rating.
card is just worse than the 7/5.
Yep.
If it so happens that red-green becomes the new mainstay, this is still worse than the 2/1 advanced summonable, bondable card, which is probably going to be like 9k. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about that, because I don't think this card is very good at all.
It gets the
This-
bad rating because
I
it's
think
Just
it is.
It also has no experience. Like,
It is actually outclassed by a lot of things. Right now, the Hitagi waifu deck does run 1/1 vanillas at level 1, so this could actually take that card's place. But at the same time, I think enough new decks will come out to displace that particular card.
moving forward.
Hitagi Senjogara, because of work. 2/1/2/5 counter. It's got the anti-change sack.
It's got
clause,
Futoga.
right? Yeah, it's Go Shitoge. So it's a 2/5 counter and 2 cost sack a character. When you use this backup, you may pay cost. If you do, kill an opponent's character whose level is higher than the opponent's level.
I mean, by default, I generally give this profile a good rating, but
It has to be good unless Monogatari becomes so amazing that Kaiki plus hexproof is the standard. I mean,
Oh,
even
that's a
so,
world. Oh man,
even
this is a good
so,
card.
against bad players, you might still be able to pull this off with your own hexproof Shinobos. So this this card is still good. It, it sacks something, which is important interaction.
it's just all of the heart of the card translations moving forward.
Mayoi Hachikuji, Temporary Farewell, 2175. This is a climax combo attacker. So if experience, if you have 3 or more experience, which is quite low for level 2, every time another oddity character attacks, this gains 1/5 for the turn. So it ends up being 10/5, which is kind of big, I guess.
Yeah.
1 cost. When Fated Encounter, which is a stock soul, is placed to the climax zone, if this is in the front row, you may pay cost. If you do, all your characters gain the ability on reverse salvage.
That's actually like not terrible.
It's
Yeah.
not terrible. It only really goes in the Mayoi deck, I feel, even though Red Stock Soul is pretty good. And the problem with putting this in the Mayoi deck is that she already has a far more interesting level 2 combo to be running.
I don't think this card is good enough to be playable, but it's definitely
Pretty
niche.
it's niche. Yeah.
Too much typing.
I think this is niche. I think this is niche. I don't know if it's playable. I like Stock Soul. I like all this on reverse salvage, and I like 10/5 beaters, but I don't know if I would play that.
Moving forward, I see
Hitagi,
Spoon.
Hitagi Senjo Gahari. You understand? Assist. All your characters gain 500. It's okay. This typo's fine because this card is bad and no one would read it. All your
Senjo
characters,
Gahari.
all your characters gain 500 power in front. It's assist 500, and when either you or your opponent levels, choose a character to gain 500.
Holy Jesus, this card is garbage.
I was really hoping that it was a typo and that it would be gain 5,000, but even then, I'm not sure I would play that.
So it's like a power gain that you can get 6 times? That seems questionable.
It doesn't seem. It's just not great. I don't think it does enough because I'm gonna actually check to see if it's a typo or
It
not.
is not a typo.
Okay, sure.
I
Because
have-
that seems just extremely weak. It should be at least 1,500.
Should be, but it's not. Moving
Right, so
forward.
Suruga Combo, Indecisive, 0015. Another global 500, and when this is placed from hand to stage, you may pay the. Well, I know it's 2 cost because it's in my notes, but Heart of the Cards has no cost there. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may pay cost. If you do, choose a oddity character in your waiting room and add it to your hand. This is a global support that sometimes gives you pay to salvage 1.
I don't think you need this.
I still think it's playable because the abilities are in a vacuum quite good.
I'm not.
I don't think you need it either.
It is definitely a playable card. It's just like kind of expensive. Maybe
Alright.
in the red, green, yellow deck if you have like extra stock lying around because you didn't spend any.
Maybe.
Next.
Next card. Hitagi
Main reason
Senjogara,
why I think it's not needed.
thinking of her friends. When this is played, you may discard a climax card from your hand. If you do, add a oddity character from your waiting room and add it to your hand.
Cool.
I actually think this is just
Good card.
Straight
card.
up high end of playable. I don't know if it's good. It's not good because we have Akatsuki.
I'm still gonna call it good. I just like.
If, for example, yellow-green becomes the mainstay at level 1, then I can move this up to a good rating. But until then, we have Akatsuki, we have Ononoki, so we have discard outlets.
I'm still leaving it good. I think free climax hand fixing stuff is always effective.
That's fair. Yeah, I see no reason that this is anywhere near a bad card. Izuku Gaien, 3 wishes. Oh, it's this card. So
So this is the Monkey Fist.
002K to give one of your characters 3 wishes not of their choosing. Those wishes are 1,500 power. Oh, it's 4 wishes, sorry. 1,500 power, inabilities to play backup for you, not your opponent, an inability to side attack, and the inability to use Encore for the turn when that character dies. You're really all in on that 1-5, but at the same time, you have Kaiki, so it's not that big a deal. But at the same time, why would you play this card?
What? This card is awful.
Never mind the Yotsu, just give the same
Like,
amount of power.
This is like a
Giving a
straight.
discard
This
outlet.
is a
This
straight
is like
downgrade to like the Mikan promo.
You can play this in the spooky Senpai Advisors deck, I guess. But then you're really, really pushing
No,
it.
no, no. You know what you're supposed to use this with? You're definitely supposed to use it with the Devil Dude because it doesn't turn off events.
oh
think,
my god.
and that's not a dude, that's a girl.
Is it?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
You can probably just play this with Kaki and have some degree of success, but I still think it's pretty garbage.
Moving forward.
Mayoi Hachikuji, climbing the path. If this is in the front of center, then it gains 2k power. So it's a 116k that becomes a 118k if it's in the front row center.
I think it's pretty bad.
I think it's very bombable and that 8k is barely big enough on offense and not necessarily great on defense. It's also restricted to 1 slot, which is never good. I don't think it's bad, but I also think it's not something I would move towards playing.
No experience also kind of
Yeah, that is a big problem
makes it worse
because
in the set.
that
yeah.
would have moved it out of the counter range of a lot of cards.
I think I'm not willing to pay 1/1 for an AK body in one
I'm
slot.
I'm calling niche.
I'm calling bad.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Hitagi the return of Senjo Gahari, expected development. If you have 2 more green characters and 2 more red characters, this gains -1 level 1. So if we follow the Heart of the Cards translations to the dot, does this mean that the bonder can't bond this?
Yes,
Oh,
that is correct.
Well, this makes this just a straight
what
up
a
bad card.
what
eh?
a blow to this card.
Yeah, no, this is a 218k that will hopefully be a 219k due to the bond that you probably have on the field. It'll be good if green red is the way to go. If not, I don't think it's going to be played.
Yeah, I agree. Niche.
Yep.
It's niche for now, but it could be good. Tsukigi Araragi, Nadeko-chan's classmate. It has the Nadeko clause in it. Neat. When your other oddity character attacks, this gains 1/5 for a turn. And change, sack this, no stock cost, which is infuriating. At the start of your encore step, if this is rested, you may pay the cost. If so, choose a level 3 Tsukihi, which is the 3/3 has... It doesn't die, basically, in your hand, and put this in the slot it was in.
What is that? Wait, which Suki is that?
It's a 3/3 soul that has... This activates up to once a turn. When this card is reversed, rest it.
10k power thing, right?
Yes, base 10k power, which means clock kicks go to town.
Yeah, that sounds pretty bad.
This card is fine in the deck because sometimes you really do just want to get that Tsukihi, and that card, the level 3 Tsukihi is bondable as well.
I mean, at least the entire change is like basically free.
Well, it would have been relatively free if it had a stock cost because you're playing the 1/1 support.
This is true. That's actually that is very true when you're talking about infuriating.
Yeah, that's why I'm angry because this card is basically just a 2/2 10k attacker that becomes a clock kick target and doesn't benefit from the Karen.
But I mean, like, just adding a stock cost doesn't like.
It would have.
I guess
made
it would have been from waiting room instead, right?
Yeah, it would have. It would
Yeah.
have been probably 2 cost from waiting room.
That probably would have been.
So-
No, it's an encore 7. It could have been pay. It would have been pay 1 probably still.
No.
No,
because-
sorry, it's 2. It costs 3, so it would be pay 2.
Yes. So this card is niche because it does actually go into the deck if that's what you want to play. But I personally would maybe play one at most, and even then, the level 2 slots are more taken up by the Tsukiji Climax combo and the Changer for Karen. So yeah, take that as you will.
Moving forward.
2-1 Suruga combo, unlucky encounter. No, 2-2, sorry.
2-2. Yes.
She's met Kaiki. When this attacks, if you have 2 or more other oddity traits, it gains 2k for the turn. When this character's battle opponent becomes reversed, if the Virtue of Human Hand, which is a 2k 1 soul, is in the climax zone, you may pay cost. The cost is 1 stock. If so, choose a level 3 or lower character in your opponent's front row and kill it. You just don't do anything. 2k 1 soul is not the greatest right now, especially in a deck that doesn't even... Like, I assume you run this in the Kambaru Waifu deck because there's not really a reason to run this elsewhere. As a level 2 play, it's outclassed by the level 3. As a 2k 1 soul combo, it's just not the greatest. I don't know. I see no reason to play this card and very little reason to play the Climax, so I'm giving this a bad rating.
I am inclined to agree.
Agreed.
Clown Glasses. So this is a 3-3 event. It's a pretty good event, actually.
Yes.
If there are 5 or more cards in your library, you may play this. Or rather, you can play this, but if you've got less than 5 cards in your library, this does nothing. If there are 5 or more cards in your library, choose up to 2 cards in your waiting room, any cards, including climaxes. In fact, you'll basically only be shuffling climaxes in, and return them to your library. Then shuffle your deck. Send this card to memory.
I give this card a playable rating.
It's playable,
Yeah,
but I don't know if I want to play too many of this.
I mean, theoretically, it could be better than Money Counter.
I just know that at some point I'm going to reveal this to my Tsubasa Clock Kick, and I'm just
gonna cry.
I'm going to cry a little.
There are situations where this card is better than Money Counter. It does
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah.
And that situation is when you're at 5 or 6 cards and you play this and you're like,
No, that situation is when you're fighting against hexproof characters.
yes, that too. Unless that hexproof character, well, I mean, if you have 3 climaxes in your deck already and then you just throw this in there with like, and then you get like Yami, it's like, oh man, actually just cancel everything. Beautiful.
Sure.
Regardless, being an event kind of sucks. Being
will
level
do.
3 is fine. You get experience.
How long's this video?
32 minutes, 33 minutes.
I reckon we can do blue.
Already. Just
Okay,
go
cool.
straight through. Anyways, I give the card a playable rating.
Yeah,
I think it's playable as well.
it's very playable.
All right.
Whoops, that is like not even the right card.
No, you chose the stock soul.
I did absolutely just choose the stock soul, and there we go. We are in there.
We need the actual picture of her. Yep. So, jailbait Yotsuki Ononoki
Always going to jail.
001K.
Thomas, you're the first person going to jail.
I agree. I like this character because she's voiced by Sari Hayami. But yeah, no, I'm not. I don't swing that way. When this is placed from hand to stage, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's an oddity character, put it in your hand and discard a card from your hand to waiting room. So it's a filter. And when this is placed from hand to stage, choose a oddity character. That character gains 1/5 for the turn.
Alrighty, so you know that other card that gave a card 1500 power but then had a bunch of detriments? This card is just better than that one.
No, this
Yeah.
one's 1K. That one was 2K.
Oh my god.
Yeah, sure.
Oh my god.
But on the other hand, this card is 1280, and that card was 30 yen. So maybe the Japanese are onto something. Maybe they just really like jailbait.
Maybe they're all going to jail.
Yeah.
Wait,
probably.
isn't like the age of consent in Japan like 12?
It's like
I
13?
don't know, and I don't care to know.
Okay, so the Japanese aren't going to jail, but Thomas is.
Okay, that's fair.
Should-
So this card is great.
With me.
It is a costless filter that also gives power for your 1/0 Shinobu combo. Sorry.
Shinobo.
Shinobu.
Shinobo combo.
Yeah, Shinobu Kombu. That's right. So this gives power for the Shinobu Kombu. and it's just a really solid title up.
Card is good. I gave it a good rating.
It's very good.
It's definitely good.
There are decks where I run 4 of this profile, just the filtering portion, just because I want the filter.
Can I also note that there is a 0-0 promo Mayoi that it has 1 cost, drop a climax to salvage a climax. So
Oh, that profile exists in like Soundless
yes,
Voice.
it does. But that just makes the 1-0 Shinobo combo stronger than it otherwise might be. So any card that supports that gets an automatic increase in rating on my end.
Yes, Shinobo and Senju Gahari.
Yes.
Moving forward. Holy
Uh,
text, it covers my screen again.
Go with Bangs, Nadeko Sengoku. So when this is placed from hand to stage or via the effect of Nadeko Sengoku, Goddess of the
White
it's
Snake
it's
Shrine.
North White Snake. It's something heavy ginger. I've forgotten exactly what it's called. You look it up to 3 cards from the top of your deck, add 1 to hand, and ditch the rest.
Cool.
And then it has the Ranko slash Ilya Berserker Climax combo, which is when this attacks, if for the sake of my own dream, which is the Pants Climax, is in the Climax zone, mill the top 5 cards of your library and deal X damage to your opponent, where X is the number of Climax cards put in the waiting room this way. This card gains 5,000 power.
I feel like this is just not necessary.
It's niche because
It's niche. Yeah.
it's for Nadeko. Nadeko.
I think it's a pretty decent card though.
It is a pretty decent card, especially because it works well with the other level 3, which is an interesting card to say the least.
I just don't feel like this card is necessarily better than the Senjo Gahari.
No, it doesn't.
Oh no! It's definitely a niche card. It's
Not
just
meta deck, not meta deck, but it is a pretty good part of the Nadeko deck, which is reasonable in its own right.
Anyways, moving forward.
Tsubasa Hanakawa, Temporary Farewell. It's a 0-0-500 assist 500 in front, and it has experience. Oh boy, you can pump it by 2k. Up to once a turn, when another Odyssey character is placed from hand to stage, if you have experience 3, so you can't use this ability till you're level 1 at least, look at the top card of your deck and put it either on top or bottom, and the character that you just played gains 500 power.
Once per turn?
It's only once a turn.
Fantastic. That's
so
fine.
this card is it's okay. I don't think there's room for it in anything but a Hanakawa waifu deck, or like a Hanakawa Hitagi like OTP sort of deck.
I'd be tempted to put just 1 into my deck to get 1 extra shot and not getting screwed playing the clock kick.
I don't like that though, because if you play the clock kick and you don't hit a climax, you just wasted the ability.
I honestly might just put it to the bottom and get a second scry just to.
What I might do is I play this card, then I play another random 1-0. I use the scry. If it's a card, then sure, I leave it on top and I play the clock kick. If it's not, then I play the clock kick and use the clock kick scry. But if it is a character, then I get to play the clock kick. I get to reveal the card, and if it's a card that I don't want to charge to stock, I get to put it to the bottom with that card scry.
Again, I'd be tempted to just run 1 and kind of hedge, but
I'm not convinced this card is particularly good anywhere, but it is playable because its abilities are by no means bad.
Yeah.
I definitely call it playable. It's definitely
Playable.
not like strong enough to be good, but
Yeah,
I like
It's
hedging
just not
sometimes.
space for it. It's not good enough to supplant any other card you'd run.
That is the main issue, yo.
I just like hedging sometimes. Sometimes I get completely screwed and I just want to not get sad.
Sadness is life.
Well, that's why we play Weiss.
Correct. Next card. So will the real Tsubasa Hanakawa please stand up? Okay, so this is just a
Damn,
0-0-2-5.
Mom spaghetti.
Yes, Mom Spaghetti. If there are 6 or more cards in your hand, this gains 1/5 power. I hate this archetype of cards. I don't think this card is playable.
Um, this is the beater profile I know girlfriend's beta prefers a lot.
No.
Not anymore?
Oh,
I thought it
Girlfriend Beta
was-
plays the 0-0-3-5 that mills 2.
Oh God, no.
This is not a good card in my opinion. It
Yeah.
means that you you can't ever commit more than one card to the field, which limits your options. And this is only a 4K,
Isn't
so
there a
it's very
better? There's like
fragile.
a plus level solo play, right?
There is a 4K with one or fewer others in yellow. There is a 4K loner, and there is another 4K in blue. Oh wait, no, there's not another 4K in blue. There's a 4-5 in blue if it's in the center slot.
Okay, so waifu deck. I don't know. Honestly, the fact that you have like actual loners just makes this card really ineffective. Just because like the six or more cards in hand is basically saying loner. So
It just doesn't seem good to
Eh.
me. I don't like it.
unless you like trigger a gate on your first attack, and then it's like, ah,
I'm not going to call this card bad because it isn't bad. It just limits your options and is.
it's still playable to me. Like,
I don't think it's as good as some other beaters, but there are times where this is fine. So I call this card niche, but I don't like it at all.
I still call the card playable.
I think it's niche because
it's-
you just have other options that are
It's
much better.
functionally a solo play card, except the solo play is plus 1500 power as opposed to like plus 1k plus 1 level.
Next card. Nadeko Sengoku, not believing anybody. So it's a 1045. When this comes from hand to stage, it gains 500 power for every oddity character you have. And when the battle opponent of this becomes reversed, you may swap a card in your level zone and waiting room.
That seems pretty whatever.
So two things about this card. The first one is, this one is part of a trap combo. So there's a 0/0 Nadeko where when it's front attacked, you can put this from hand to stage in its place. So you can ambush someone with this, and it does get the power because it's put from
Put
hand
from
to
hand
stage. The other thing is Nadeko is one of those. She has a. We'll get to it soon, but she's got a Royalty Louise clone where she needs two specific cards in level zone. So this is extra to get a early play. I mean, so this has got extra insurance against that, though that hopefully isn't necessary.
I have a couple of issues with this.
Well, it's a role player. It's not a
Yeah.
good card. It's never going to see play in the meta deck because there's not enough good blue at all.
I just like everything about this card screams like
It's the Nautical deck, so
counter synergy to an extent.
It's niche. It's niche.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
mean-
Nadeko deck.
like it's a trap card that doesn't maintain power, and then like if you do use it as a trap card, you don't really get to do the level swapping because that means you did it at 0, and then it just dies the turn after.
It's fine. You play 4 of them, so you just do it again. And it is a 7K beta with a full field, so it's not all bad. It's
Like,
not great.
You can just get 107Ks in green, but
No,
Well,
but
well, you're
get
playing
them-
Nautical.
you're
deck,
playing
so-
Nautico, so you're just like living sadness instead, I guess.
No, Nadeko deck is fine. Like
It's-
I think I would actually rather play that than the
Then red green.
Kanbaru deck.
I don't know, man. I like 107Ks.
Well, you have top end in the Nautical deck.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Red green has, I guess red green good stuff's all at top end.
Yeah. You
Oh
still
yeah,
have
but
the
that's not
burn.
confident anymore.
But moving forward.
Nadeko Sengoku, not believing it. Oh, that's the same card. Black Hanakawa, the beginning of an oddity. They used the word oddity. They used the word oddity again. It's right there. All right, so this gives all level 3 or higher characters in front 2000 power, and it bonds to
Okay.
the clock kick. I don't think this is a playable card in anything but Nadeko, and at that point you're not running a Nadeko in your Nadeko deck, so you're probably doing something wrong.
Yeah.
I'm going to call the card niche.
I think
Honestly.
it's just
It's just the blue.
I
Man,
think,
it's
I think
like
it's bad.
I think being blue is like a real tragedy.
Blue is just bad. That's why it
Just
only
it's
goes
bad,
in
yeah.
the Nadeko deck. I mean, do you know what's funnier? If you're playing blue, then there's a level 3 blue support, which does everything this
Oh,
does
I
better.
forgot. That exists. It's
Yeah.
the level 3 support with the girl
Yeah.
with the glasses.
It does cost 1 more, but it brings a lot more to the table, and you can trip with it. So this card is just not good, even though it bonds
Yeah,
your clock pick.
Forgetting that card exists, you're right. This card does become just bad if you're...
This is for the Hanakawa waifu deck, but even then, I don't know how much blue you really want to play in the deck.
Oh god, a wall of text approaches.
Yeah, this card.
Holy Jesus.
I'll explain it. This card is
This one I
Nadeko
actually do need to move the card art down.
goddess of the North Heavy Ginger Shrine or whatever the hell it's called, experience. If you have the level 0 stock bomb and the level 3 double R blue in your level zone, this becomes a 2295. If you have when this is placed from hand to stage, you may choose a 1/0 event in your waiting room and put this under this card as a marker. And don't say Roka or I'll punch somebody. If there's a marker under this, this gains the ability, when this is placed from stage to waiting room, you may choose a girl with bangs Nadeko in your waiting room and put it into the slot this was in, or you may you may search your library for a girl with bangs Nadeko and put it into the slot this was in.
Cool. Change from anywhere, except
Yeah.
not really change. I mean,
If they're all in stock, level, and hands, then
you failed.
yes, you failed badly, and one will probably be in hand. Be in level zone, but it should be fine. This
Well,
card is it's a 2 soul 9/5 beta for Nadeko that's very easy to bring down, and like this is the reason why you might run a level support. So when it dies, it replaces itself automatically, which is a pretty strong ability, especially when the card it replaces itself with.
even if it's in
Straight
level zone, you can just get it out with the 1/0.
You can, but you'd probably rather not. I mean, you don't need to spam the level 3 blue, to be honest. You're right, you can get it out with the level 1. There's also a level 0 Nadeko swapper in the first set, which you can use, but that's not super important. So if you ever ram this card in, your opponent counters, then you probably want to get the Nadeko from your deck in order to reduce the damage you'll take next turn. Whereas if you get it killed on your turn, you'd rather get it from your waiting room to increase the chance you draw one of another Nadeko and go off of your combo.
Card is niche.
Of course, it's niche.
Yeah.
It needs,
It's like this is a given with these kinds of cards. Yeah.
it's not even a very strong card, but since it does replace itself with a card that itself cantrips, it straight up pluses you when it goes away. And there's not really a cost to play it because the stock bomb, the level 3 blue, and the 1/0 event that you all play are cards that you'd want to play anyway, so
Yep.
it's all fun.
Moving forward.
Tsubasa Hanakawa, hand extended towards the past. When this is placed from hand to stage, or when this becomes reversed, you may scry and put it on top or bottom. So you get a double scry out of this card, which is kind of neat, I guess.
Cool.
It's cool.
I like
Yeah.
this card because you can scry, you can control your triggers, then you can ram in with this, and you can look at the top card. If it's a climax, keep it there. If it's not a climax, put it on the bottom. There's stupid mind games which can eventuate, but they probably won't actually eventuate.
What? This is Weiss. Most of the people who are not thinking that far ahead, sadly.
This is playable.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if I'd play it because it's blue. Maybe I'll make Hanekawa waifu just to play this card. It's pretty sweet.
You like double
You play
scars?
it with the support, and you get to.
Oh, we got the trifecta, guys. We got the trifecta. Nadeko Sengoko.
Sengoku. Oh my god!
Unrequited.
Where are the proofreaders?
There are none.
Oh my god!
You know what the best part of the Senjo Gahari is, right?
Senjo Gahari.
It was misspelled in 2 different places.
I know, right? And it was correctly spelt in all the others. Alright. During your opponent's turn, if this is in the front row center slot, it gains 2k power. So it's kind of like an upgraded version of the old Nadeko 2/5 that gained 1k on your opponent's turn. Not much else I can say about this card. You used to put that card in the middle anyway because you played in a Deco support which gave 1k to the middle center slot. So you'd do the same thing anyway.
It's just
It's niche.
It's just a beater.
It's niche. It's not even a beater. It's a defender.
It's okay. Yes, that's fair. It's a defensive card. Moving forward.
Yotsuki Ononoki, former human, current jailbait. 101k counter. This is already problematic because we already have a 101k counter, 10 counter, which is amazing. It's a minus soul counter from the first set, but we'll give this one a shot. One cost. When you use this card's backup, you may pay cost. If you do, choose a level 1 or lower Koyomi or Mayoi in your hand and send it to memory.
No. Field.
Oh, sorry. choose a level 1 or lower Koyomi or Mayoi from field. I knew that. I don't know why I said hand. And put in your memory. At the beginning of your draw phase, put that card in any slot in the stage.
It's cool. You get to basically play one encore.
You also get to remove the card from battle, which is
cool.
important. If you use the Ricky to side attack, then you get to use this to pull the Ricky back, not have it be reversed, and recycle the side attack effect, or make it a beater next turn. It's kind of like a 1 cost plus.
Yep. It's still a niche card, but
It's a 1 cost plus if you manage to make the 1k counter overpower something. Otherwise, it's a 1-for-1. So don't go thinking that this card is broken, because it almost certainly isn't. It's just a techie little card that is probably cuter than it is good.
yeah.
It also limits the cards that you can return pretty drastically. There's not that many good ones, so there's a bunch of Mayoi beaters, and there's not really any good Koyomi level ones, to be quite honest. There's one blue one in Nisemono with a book combo that no one plays, and there's a bondable yellow one from Bakemono, which I doubt anyone will play anymore because Shinobu is no longer the dominant support. So I don't think this card is going to be amazing. It's going to be niche, I think.
Moving forward.
Nadeko Sengoku, cute girl. I've been watching Haruchika, so this is really experience. If Girl with Bangs, the level 3 blue, is in your level zone, this gains 1k and 1 level.
Cool.
It's in color for what Nadeko's level 1 game wants to be, so I can give this card a solid niche rating.
Yep.
Tsubasa Hanakawa, having fun. Oh boy. It's a 1/1/6/5. During your opponent's turn, if you've got experience, so it's experience. During your opponent's turn, if you have experience 2, this gains 2k power. So it's not for the Nadeko deck. It's blue and level 1, and therefore I don't think it's playable.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it seems pretty bad.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
It also just dies on your own turn, so like,
Or you could just play the bomb and make it big.
I guess. It does have experience.
This is true. Yeah, that's why I
Alright,
said
my
that.
favorite card profile.
Yes.
Oh no.
Use this lewd art. Nadeko Sengoku, devilish girl.
That
She's
ass,
not-
I don't know.
When this attacks, if the level of the character opposite is 3 or higher, this gains 6,000 power. 13,500.
Yeah, it's still...
That's a pretty big number.
I'm not saying it's not a big number, but like, why?
I don't think the Nadeko deck has a better way to deal with advanced summons. So I'm gonna give this a niche rating for the Nadeko deck.
On principle, I just gotta keep giving these cards bad ratings until they stop printing them.
I think I agree with Lychee. Niche.
I don't care if you guys think that. It's... No. No.
If you say so, we can move on then.
We're done. We're done with that card.
So, Nadeko Sengoku, The Time of Waiting, 001k. Oh boy. It's a brainstorm. 1 cost, tap this. Mill 4. For every climax, draw a card. During your opponent's turn, all your other oddity characters gain 500 power.
Cool.
So, right now, all the Clannad and Log Horizon players around the world are just crying. And it's really strange and ironic and coincidental. Shut up. That both Clannad and Log Horizon are getting power-up packs when their crutch brainstorms are both superseded by this common.
So, like, I'm just trying to think about it. Did they actually say power-up pack or comeback
Yeah.
campaign?
They said power.
Power-up pack.
So they're just not supposed... Are they supposed... So they're not going to be as prominent as comeback campaigns or more prominent?
No one knows.
No one knows, and I hope that it completely breaks Clannad because I need my deck to shine again. Anyway, this card is niche for the Nadeko deck, but if I'm to be realistic, I don't think it's better than any given brainstorm in the actual Nadeko deck because Nadeko doesn't have any rewards for whole field Nadeko or anything. I'm saying niche for flavor reasons. I don't actually think this is better than, say, the Hitagi Brainstorm.
It's not
Of course not.
unless you like need unless you're running like a place into the 3-3 event because you're insane.
Oh, but you can Kaiki the same turn you use that brainstorm. Oh.
Oh,
That's actually a relevant point. But I also don't think that matters a great deal.
it's a trap card. It's a tarp.
Yep, so this is the top, the 002K. Sack this when this is front attack, you may pay the cost. If so, you may choose a Nadeko in your hand and put it in the slot as the defending character. So, as we may know from Abyssals, top characters can sack themselves in front of any climax combo that front attacks them and not replace themselves with a 1-0.
Tarp.
So
Yes.
that's already a very good defense for Nadeko deck against on reverse climax combos. This also just lets you ambush characters that with at least a 5k, which is not the worst thing ever, but I don't know. It seems fine because this is a card you can safely swing into empty with in late game.
Yeah,
Yeah. I still niche though.
yeah.
It is niche, of course, because you're not going to run a card that sacks itself. Or else you just probably run the Araragi, the
Yeah.
green. Yeah,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
Koyomi Araragi, spoken form. This is the badass Araragi, I think.
Yep.
The what?
Yeah, he's the one who.
Uh,
Don't worry, it's a specific
it's
scene where he comes out of nowhere and acts as he's Gary Stew for one scene.
it's a cool narrative trick in the show.
Yep.
But
So this one has when another oddity character is front attacked, you may sack this. If you do, choose a character in battle, and that character gains 1k. So all 1k field counters, unless they have another effect like the Momo from To Love Ru, I can't get behind them because 1k is just so ineffectual.
I agree.
mhm.
The
Especially
good thing
given that
about this, you can stack this with an actual 1-0 counter, but
then you're
I
two
still
for
don't
winning
think this-
yourself.
No, you're not, because this card was going to die anyway.
Oh, sure. If you attack with it, then it's still 1-for-1.
If this gets attacked, yeah.
Yep.
I still don't think this card is good. I think this card is actually just bad, because not only do I think you're not going to have room, but I also don't think the effect is good enough.
And moving forward,
Yeah.
I don't even need to update my ratings. Vanilla.
Tsubasa, yeah, it's a vanilla. I think
Jailbait Hanakawa Tsubasa.
I'm pretty sure Hanakawa already has a vanilla. I don't remember what color.
Ayo, this set only has 2 vanillas.
Wonderful. Much better than what was the set that had a trillion vanillas? Madoka, I think
Was it
it was.
Monica?
Monica had
Yeah.
a lot of vanillas.
So
all
many
over the
vanillas.
place.
All right, so Tsubasa Hanakawa, Burning Feelings of Love. A Clock Encore. When this attacks, if you have two or more other oddity characters, this gains 2,000 power for the turn. So it's a 6/5, which isn't too bad. And Clock Encore, but the Clock Encore cost is put a oddity character from your waiting room on the bottom of your clock.
Whoa.
Oh man, they just totally just stole the Dog Days Clock Encore.
This is the way you make sure your Nadeko 3/2
Yeah.
comes down.
Yes.
Clearly. It's not actually, because then you're playing Tsubasa.
Card is
It's
still niche. I've played with this exact profile before, minus the clock from waiting room, and I find the card to always be kind of
It's very
bad.
sneaky. I think this is niche as well.
I think the
I find the
biggest
card to
problem
be
is the color.
very
to be honest.
ineffective every time.
Oh, it goes into the Hanakawa deck,
Yeah, but
but that's all it goes into.
Meh.
yeah.
Moving forward.
Black Hanakawa, the Obstacle Cat, 105k. For each marker under this, it gains 2k power.
Oh wait, so back to that tap it for 1,000.
This ability activates up. It's actually in the right colors because Hanakawa Waifu is blue-green. This ability activates up to once a turn. When the battle opponent of this is reversed, if this is in the front row and you have the draw climax, so my own problems in your climax zone, you may choose an oddity character from your waiting room and put it face down under this as a marker.
This is awful.
I don't think it's awful. I don't like the fact you can't get markers on your opponent's turn, so you can't snowball like Mark Asuna and that Yui
I
card.
don't
and
like that it's always going to be 1-0.
I just dislike that it's tied to the climax combo.
Well, ignoring Gigant Shooter, I don't think being 1-0 matters a great deal.
What level 1 bombs are a real thing.
Oh, that's right, it doesn't get a level. Yeah, never mind. Uh,
What?
yeah, this
If it was
this card
1-1, then like maybe, but like that's actually like the biggest reason why Gun Shooter just kind of laughs in the face of Mark Ross and it's like, that's a nice 1-1 you got there. Would be a shame.
this card is it's a lot worse than I thought it was. Yeah, never mind. I still think it's niche, and this is probably the combo. Well, I don't know. You play either this or you play the Stock Soul combo with Hanekawa. It's hard to say which you want to play.
I think you're giving this card too much credit.
I might well be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so you basically use the climax and your entire turn to get a 7k. A 107k. And you needed
Alright.
to reverse something to get the 107k.
All right, you've convinced me. Put me on bad.
Yeah.
Like, you did all this work for a 107k.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Moving forward. Vanilla counter.
2-1 Hanekawa counter. Hanekawa already has a 2-1 vanilla counter in green. So this is. I'm not even going to rate this.
No rating. Moving
Yeah.
forward.
Yotsuki Ononoki, unable to react. Oh, this card. It's a
Jailbait.
2-2. Yeah, jailbait. 2-2
Jailbait
8K.
X2 actually. Look at this.
Jailbait. This is jailbait incarnate. So
The
one cost.
climax is that too as
Yeah.
well.
One cost, discard a card from hand to waiting room. When Choice of Carnage, which is a stock soul, is placed to climax zone. If this is in the front row, you may pay cost. If so, search your library for up to one character with Shinobu in the name, and up to one character with Mayoi in the name, and reveal them, add them to your hand. Shuffle your library, and this gets 1k for the turn. So this replaces 2 cards in your hand. Oh no. This replaces a card in your hand with 2 cards of jailbait.
So you're going to jail,
Yes.
and once
The
you
next
finish
card-
going to jail,
Do not pass go.
do not collect $200.
Put the next ability is put this in the waiting room, so it's a field counter. When another oddity character is at front attacked, you may pay cost. If you do, choose a battling character to gain 4,000 power.
So it's a 2-2, which means you probably want to attack with it once because it's 2 saltpeter. It's a 3k field counter as opposed to the 2-1 3k.
4K.
Sorry,
4K.
4k. 4k.
Okay.
As opposed to the 2-1 3k ones on the field, and it also pays to search, but you get a search 2 instead of 1, but you only get the +1 still. So
You don't get +1.
No,
'cause
no, you don't +1,
Play,
you just play the
you play a
climax.
stock soul.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, you play the climax, so
It's a costless search, effectively.
you
but-
go even on the first one. And
Yeah, and it's costless because it's a stock soul.
yeah.
Yep.
So you
So
functionally
this-
just hand fixed really hard, I guess.
This is niches balls and goes into jailbait dot deck, which I don't believe is actually a thing.
What?
'Cause
Only
the
if you
only-
want to go to jail.
The only cards that actually synergize with the other lollies is this card, to be honest. And to a lesser extent, the 1-0 counter. Because that one doesn't affect Shinobus.
Moving forward.
Last card, Kuchinawa. So this is 1-0. Mill 4, add 1 Odyssey character to hand, and put the rest in the waiting room.
So it just makes me amused that you have like the character Akatsuki and also Chihaya's camera in one deck.
They don't go in the same deck. This deck
No,
is only
this
for,
is
the,
for a
this is
different
only
deck.
for this is only the Nadeko deck.
For blue. I know, like, I mean, I just mean the fact that you have both cards in one set just amuses me.
Hey, Conco had both.
You do realize that Chihaya's camera was in the set with the original Azusa, right?
I know, and it still amuses me. The fact that, like, these keep happening amuse me. Does that mean the first time this effect was printed was Kill a Kill?
Junketsu might have been the first 4 one because Little Busters has a 3-1.
So I guess Shinketsu?
No. I'm sure there is another one. There has to be another one. I just don't know what it sets well enough. That's all. I'm sure DC has one.
I mean, if any set has one, it's gotta be DC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That brings us to the end of blue.
Blue sucked. Unless you like Nadeko.
Yeah, blue is for the waifu deck.
Yeah.
Alright. We'll be back with summary video.
Yeah.